Leo and others, can you see that okay?
We can see it, Sebastian.
Cool. Leo, I'll let you kick things off when you think it's appropriate to do so. I think we can give it a minute or two to let folks file in.
Sounds good. And I'll be keeping an eye what folks join. Welcome, everyone. My name is Leo, current president of the Solano Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. Today, in collaboration with Solano Black Chamber of Commerce, Fairfield-Suisun Chamber of Commerce, Filipino American Chamber of Commerce of Solano County, as well as Vacaville Chamber of Commerce, and of course, our presenters today, folks from MCE. We will be talking about the new electricity provider coming to the city of Fairfield, and what does that mean to businesses, and of course, residents of the city of Fairfield. And with that, I would like to turn this over to Sebastian. Sebastian, I'll let you take it from here. I'm not sure if you want to introduce folks from MCE, or if you want to start the presentation.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Leo. Well, hey, everyone. My name is Sebastian Kahn. I serve as Community Development Manager at MCE. I'm joined tonight by a couple of my colleagues, Mariela Herrick, who is also a Community Development Manager, and Martin Bond, who is a Business Relationship Manager. Really thrilled to be here tonight and to help educate and inform you all about MCE and the changes coming to your electricity service beginning in April if you live in Fairfield. MCE has been a proud member of the Solano Hispanic Chamber since 2020, and are really thankful for the opportunity that Leo invited us to present here tonight. So let's go ahead and dive in the presentation here. So the reason that we're here this evening is that starting in April, MCE will become the primary electricity provider for Fairfield homes and businesses. We are a not-for-profit public agency, and we provide electricity service to 37 different communities across the Bay Area. So I want to explain to you all what that means and kind of how that's going to impact your electric service. But at the highest level, it means that Fairfield residents will now have a choice when it comes to how much renewable energy they want for their home or business at competitive and stable rates. So at MCE, our mission is to confront the climate crisis, because climate change is the biggest threat facing us today. From an increase in the number of extreme weather events to dramatic health impacts, climate change is about more than things just getting hotter. Over the past decade, we've seen the impacts of climate change firsthand in our communities, from extreme weather events to the expanded reach of devastating wildfires. These are things that are dangerous for many of us, and we need to make every effort we can to reduce greenhouse gas emissions and combat climate change. So what is community choice, and how is that relevant to the conversation? So in 2002, there was state-level legislation passed through Assembly Bill 117 that allowed for agencies like MCE to exist. Community choice aggregation programs, or CCAs, are public, not-for-profit agencies like a waste or water district that purchase electricity on behalf of customers as an alternative to the investor-owned utility, which in Fairfield is PG&E. We exist to give cities and towns the choice of how much renewable electricity they provide to their residents. And for new communities like Fairfield's, they can vote to join a community choice aggregation program like MCE, which the city of Fairfield did in 2019. And that enabled MCE to become the default electric service provider for the community, allowing for more renewable electricity options for residents and businesses. Now, CCAs do follow a customer opt-out model, which means that all customers are automatically enrolled, and that helps support the state's clean energy goals. But customers can return to PG&E service at any time. Really, as the name implies, community choice aggregation, this is about choice. We want to give folks the choice of where their electricity is coming from. And we think that having a community choice program in your community affords you that opportunity to decide which electric service works the best for you. Some of the key benefits with the CCA model include local decision-making, tailored community energy programs, and the ability to reinvest in local benefits instead of creating profits for shareholders. So at a high level, how electric service works, what's changing with MCE. So you may know on your bill each month, your PG&E bill that you receive, all electric customers pay what's called generation services and delivery services. With MCE, we take over the role of electric generation for our customers, supplying more energy from clean, renewable power sources. PG&E continues to deliver the electricity from the grid to your home or business, address service outages, maintain the poles and wires, and send your bill each month, which includes MCE's generation service. And the end result means that you, as the customer, get to enjoy the same reliable electric service that you're used to, and now you have access to more renewable energy choices. As far as the state of California goes, MCE was the first community choice program in the state. We started in Marin County in 2010, but we're certainly not the last CCA. As you can see from this map here, due in large part to MCE's success, the model has grown around the state over the last decade. And there's now 24 active community choice activation programs in the state of California, with hundreds of participating local governments and serving over 10 million customers. So who is MCE? And this is a new slide that I think we're really proud to present, an updated mission and vision statement. Our mission at MCE is to confront the climate crisis by eliminating fossil fuel greenhouse gas emissions, producing renewable energy, and creating equitable community benefits. And our vision is to lead California to an equitable, clean, affordable, and reliable energy economy by serving as a model for community-based renewable energy, energy efficiency, and cutting-edge clean tech products and programs. So here is a map of our service area, the member communities that we serve throughout the Bay Area. As you can see, we're in 4 different counties: Marin, Napa, Contra Costa, and Solano. In Solano, we serve just over 30,000 customers, and that number is expected to grow when we bring on Fairfield in April. Just a little bit about the member communities that we serve in Solano. We brought on Benicia, I believe in 2015, so they're the longest served MCE member community in the county. We began serving residents in Vallejo last year. And in 2020, we enrolled the unincorporated portions of Solano County. So Fairfield is going to be our 3rd incorporated city that we serve in Solano County. So really excited about that. And just a quick timeline of how we got here to this point. The public process to bring MCE to Fairfield began in 2019. It was that year that MCE gave 2 informational presentations to the City Council. And in December 2019, the City Council voted and adopted an ordinance authorizing the implementation of MCE. From there, MCE's Board of Directors voted in 2020 to include Fairfield as our newest MCE member community, and the California Public Utilities Commission certified the MCE implementation plan in 2021. So there's a couple of different layers that the approval of a CCA program needs to go to. First, the City Council needs to vote on that type of initiative. MCE's board then needs to approve it, and then the state with the California Public Utilities Commission needs to approve that plan as well. And then once all that happens, we can look at November 2021 here. The City Council nominated Councilmember Panduro to serve on the MCE board, with Councilmember Tonneson serving as the board alternate. And now here we are, almost in April 2022, at which point all eligible Fairfield residents and businesses will be enrolled in MCE service. Now, you heard me talk a little bit about how MCE is a public agency. And with that comes our governing board, our board of directors. These are 31 individuals that are all elected officials from the member communities that we serve. There's no tax dollars that go towards the folks that sit on our board. And these board members help make decisions about rates and programs for MCE customers. So really the local control aspect of this, understanding that our member communities have a designated rep on our board that helps decide which energy is being served for the community. And for Fairfield, your representative on the MCE board is Councilmember Doris Pandora. And now, since this is a Chamber of Commerce and business community specific presentation, I do want to turn the presentation over to my colleague, Martin Bond. Martin is a business relationship manager here at MCE. And Martin, if you want to introduce yourself, that would be awesome. And I can flip the slides back and forth for you.
Thank you very much, Sebastian, for the introduction. And yes, I'm excited to be able to work with all members in Solano County, and specifically the Solano Hispanic Chamber and other businesses. Again, I do work with the business community in MC service area to connect them to our energy programs and just provide as much service as possible for them. Next slide, please. So just a real quick background. Sebastian went over a little bit of this, but I just wanted to make sure it's very clear. So what's going to happen when you join MC service? Well, a lot of things are going to stay the same. For one, you're still going to get your energy from the PG&E lines and wires that are bringing the energy to you today. Energy delivery, transmission, and distribution will continue to go through PG&E's owned facilities to your home or business. One thing that's going to be different is MCE is going to be purchasing energy on your behalf. We purchase either 60% renewable energy through our default service of light green, or if you choose to opt up to our 100% renewable service called deep green, you'll get 50% solar and 50% wind from California brought to your home or business. Your billing is going to stay the same. We'll go over a PG&E bill here shortly, but you'll continue to receive only one bill. MC charges will be a line item on that bill. If you have any questions, you can call MC directly. Sebastian, if I can ask you to put into the chat our phone number and email, info@mcecleanenergy.org. You can reach out to us and we'll get back to you shortly. If you are part of a discount program through CARE, FARA, or have medical baseline, you do not have to do anything to continue to receive those discounts. They will be automatically brought over to MC service without you having to do anything at all. The same for if you have a PG&E employee discount. Thank you very much, Sebastian. I see it in the chat there. Next slide. Also, just want to know if anyone does have any questions while I'm speaking, please feel free to put the questions in the chat and we'll answer them shortly. The incumbent utility, Pacific Gas and Electric, purchase energy on your behalf. Previously, they purchased about 30% renewable energy. The rest was primarily natural gas and nuclear with some large hydro as well. Moving to MCE, your energy is going to be a lot cleaner. 95% GHG free and 60% renewable energy through our light green service. And then again, if you choose to opt up to MCE's 100% renewable deep green service, you will be able to receive 50% solar and 3% wind. The cost for MCE's deep green service is $0.01 a kilowatt hour. If you are an average residential energy user, that's about $5 a month. Next slide, please. So what does this look like on your bill? This is an example of a PG&E bill that most of you receive every month, sometimes called a blue bill. The way that charges will be shown on the bill are going to be a little bit clearer going forward. So right now, the current electrical charges of $116.12 are itemized on the bill. Going forward, that itemization will be broken out into transmission delivery as well as MCE charges. Next slide, please. As you can see here on the updated bill, the costs are the same. They're still $116.12. However, MCE's electric generation charges are broken out. So the same amount, however, 2 line items instead of 1. Sebastian, if you can go backwards 1 slide. Again, what you're seeing here is the same amount, $116.12, shown with just one line item. And then if you go forward again, Sebastian, you can see that it's broken out into 2 line items. So there's no additional charges, just a little bit more clarification on where your energy is coming from versus how it's delivered. Next slide, please. Now let's look at a cost comparison. This is for commercial businesses. This is taking a look at like an example of a retail small business customer and what they would see. Reading it from left to right, we first see MCE's light green service, again, 60% renewable energy. MCE's purchasing of the power for the customer, the cost of that is $154.49. There's electric delivery charges, PG&E fees for a total of $4.05. For anyone who chooses to opt up to 100% renewable energy, it's a little bit of a higher cost for the electrical generation. However, the delivery fees are going to be the same, and the additional PG&E fees are the same as MCE's regular light green service. And then to compare what you would pay with PG&E. So the same 3 parts, PG&E's electrical generation, the delivery charges are the same, and then the additional PG&E fees are actually included in the electrical generation from PG&E. So it's not itemized out for a total of $467.80. So this is an example. If you would like to have your own bill compared to what it would be with MCE versus PG&E, please let us know. Next slide, please. Some customers have chosen to purchase solar panels to put on the roof. MCE is a huge proponent of renewable energy on homes and businesses, but it's a little bit different rate structure if you do have solar. Many of the things are the same, but there's a little bit of difference. First off, if you do overproduce in a month with PG&E, just like you do with MCE, we're going to give you a credit provided at the retail rate. If you overproduce for the whole year, then we're going to actually pay you out for those credits at double the wholesale rate. One difference between PG&E and MCE is PG&E does a billing at the annual true-up date, which is the annual date that you were allowed permission to operate by PG&E, or the PTO date. Every year on that date is considered your true-up date. Once you move to MCE service, and we will move solar customers on their true-up date, so it won't be along with every other customers, it'll be independent and unique to your situation. You will be then billed monthly with your credits and debits of your solar being calculated on your bill every month. Again, if you are a solar customer, you're going to be moved over to MCE service on your true-up date, and that the reason we're doing that is to make sure that you maximize the credits that you get from PG&E. And then, of course, all the energy you do get from MCE in the middle of the night, or when you're producing less energy than you're using in your home or business, is going to be that 60% or 100% renewable from MCE service. Next slide, please. There are a variety of ways to engage with MCE's customer programs. I'm going to list a few of them, but if you do have further questions, I'd love to talk to you more about how we can help your business take control of your energy through our energy programs and projects. Energy efficiency, MCE has incentives as well as technical assistance to help your home or business become more energy efficient. We also have funding for electric vehicles as well as charging stations. Like I said, we're a big proponent of solar energy. We also are providing incentive dollars for adding batteries at your home or business. If you want to electrify your home and remove the natural gas service from your home, we have some incentives for that. And then, of course, we have health, safety, and resiliency upgrades. Next slide, please. Some specific programs I'll talk about. Again, we have many more, but our most popular one is our MCE-V program. This is electric vehicle charging stations for workplaces and multifamily residences. We offer $3,000 per port. And if you've seen a charging station, many of them, have 2 ports. So that's $6,000 a charging station to install at your workplace or in a multifamily building. We're trying to encourage more people to buy electric vehicles by having a place to charge them up. If your business is interested in installing solar not to use for your property, but to sell back to MCE, we have a program for that as well. It's called the Feed-in Tariff Program. A lot more information on our website about that. And then again, energy resiliency. MCE is encouraging the adoption of batteries for our solar customers. We have funding for both residents and businesses, as well as no-cost technical assistance. Next slide. Some of our programs are specifically for folks who meet certain income thresholds. We do offer rebates to purchase an electric vehicle if you meet some of these income qualifications. $3,500 per vehicle, which is stackable with many other state and local incentives. We have MCE Cares bill credits, as well as we have funding through our partner Grid Alternatives to install solar on qualified homes. Next slide, please. There's a lot of numbers here about the MCE's impact across California and our service area. But the one I want to point out is that 2.1B, MCE has committed over $2.1 billion to build new California renewable projects in California. We are committed to creating a clean energy future for everyone in our service area and across California by investing our dollars into new steel in the ground projects to promote renewable energy. Next slide, please. So we're here today to let you know more about MCE, to encourage you to continue to stay with MCE when you have the choice. And we want to let you know that if you have any questions, we can help out by answering them and providing you as much information as possible. We can change our future together. Thank you very much. I think that ends the presentation.
Thank you both. So that concludes the presentation, Sebastian. We can open it to questions. All right, great. Well, thank you. So real pleasure to meet you, Martin. That's good to know that you're relationship manager for businesses, commercial accounts. Do you have specific territory?
I cover primarily Solano and Contra Costa County. So your neck of the woods, and work quite a bit with many of the local chambers of commerce to reach out to the local business community to help them know more about what MCE offers and how we can support them.
All right, great, thank you. And before I noticed we have a few people in the call. Before that, I just want to let everyone know that on March 28th at 6 p.m. we'll be doing a similar presentation geared towards small businesses and businesses in Spanish. The information, it is on our website by now. If not, please, we'll leave my email information. If you know someone that can benefit of the presentation in Spanish, please help us share, make them aware. All right, I see we have some great familiar faces. Melissa, good to see you here. Margaret, Dries, Mr. David Guessaway. You want to open up for questions if anyone has any questions? I do have a few. Want to see if the audience has any. All right, then I guess I'll get it started then. By the way, if you don't know how to mute, just you should have a microphone button if you are on a computer. All you have to do is tap that information or click on it to unmute yourself. And you can raise your hand if you have any questions. Feel free to use the chat section. And on the phone, I believe there's 3 dots that you can use to unmute yourself. So questions that I frequently see are we cover a little bit about how can customers opt out, but if you can please share that information. Again, I believe, is that the phone number that you put in there in the email, the 888 number 632-3674?
It is, Leo. Yeah, customers can opt out at any time. That's part of the free choice model. We want to be able to enable customers to make the decision that makes the most sense for them, and if that means returning to PG&E service, they're certainly welcome to do that. As far as opting out goes, yes, I would recommend reaching out either to that info@mcecleanenergy.org address or calling the phone number. There's a form on our website that folks can fill out too. And as far as opting out for Fairfield residents goes, you do have 60 days post MCE enrollment, which for folks on this call would be your April billing cycle. So 60 days beyond that to opt out for free. After that, there is a administrative fee of $5 for residential customers and $25 for commercial customers. But our customer care team does have the authority to review that on a case-by-case basis. That in the event that it creates some type of financial hardship, we want to be mindful of that. So that can be waived in some instances as well.
Thank you, Sebastian. That really helps in terms of opting out, and so customer needs to. And in terms of customer finding out what makes better sense to them, are there any department they can contact to? I know they have 60 days, they can kind of sort of see what makes more sense to them, but is there any assistance they can get ahead of time to help them analyze if it will make sense to stay with MCE or switch back to PG&E?
Yeah, I mean, I would encourage customers as best they can to take a look at our Fairfield webpage. Mariela or Martin, if you wouldn't mind dropping that in the chat, that'd be super helpful. But we created a webpage specifically for our Fairfield customers, which includes information about cost, how to opt out if they choose to do that, as well as some of the customer programs that would be available. I do want to call out, and Martin touched on this as well in the presentation, but we are anticipating to be about 5% cheaper on total cost of bill for Fairfield customers. So if that's an incentive for customers to stay with MCE, that's great. That's something that we are anticipating for this year. But yeah, I would say for folks that have any questions, check out that Fairfield website. It's probably your best source of info.
Thank you. And Margaret, I see you posted, there seems to be a lot of misinformation on social media. One person in particular is stating that MCE is not green energy. How are you combating this misinformation? So not sure if you've seen these type of situations and you see these questions, but Margaret, feel free to add anything else. But do you have anything to say related to that, MCE? Oh, for MCE.
I can take a stab at that. Yeah, I mean, I think one of the things we try to do is as many of these presentations as possible. So we are reaching out to folks, schedule these conversations like the one we're having here, but we also have our regularly scheduled community presentations. We recently just created Facebook invites so people can get a reminder to sign up for this presentation so they can learn more about MCE. It would be helpful to know what platform on social media that is. But I also think that it's important when we let folks know, like you all, what MCE is about, and a little bit more about our renewable content for you all to learn. And you all can also share that with your colleagues and friends about MCE's mission and the work that we do. I don't know if any of my other colleagues want to add anything.
Yeah, thank you, Mariela. I think that's all great. The only thing that I would add related to Margaret, your piece about MCE not being green energy. First, that's unfortunate that that's circulating, but I would say that, and I think that one of the things that people need to know is that, as a not-for-profit public agency, we really value transparency in where we're getting our energy from. All of our board meetings are open to the public, and we are bound by a lot of the same regulatory requirements that PG&E is. So on an annual basis, we do need to submit our energy procurement profile to the California Energy Commission. And there's also an independent audit that we do as well that verifies that our energy is coming from 60% and up to 100% renewable resources. So I hope that answers your question, Margaret. And you can always check out our website. We update it regularly with our most up-to-date procurement profile and kind of where the energy is coming from as well.
Okay, I do want to just add for Mariella, this is Facebook and it's Cordelia Green Valley. And it's somebody that has a following, a pretty big following, and is really slandering the organization. So I do want to give you the heads up that it's out there, convincing everyone that you have to opt out, you don't understand. So I just wanted to share that with all of you. Obviously, I'm opting in, and I think you guys are great. So this is just coming from what I've heard.
Thank you so much for letting us know.
Yes, thank you, Margaret. And yes, you do have a good point, right? Making sure that we bring to our communities, share with the communities the presentations that MCE are doing, so they can be aware of the MCE, who MCE are. They can do their own due diligence, and and obviously they can make their own decisions. Any other questions? If not, I go to my next question. Okay. So the next thing I have is, you did mention the fee that could be potentially assessed for the opt-out. So thank you for sharing that. You share a little bit about the solar programs. Interested to know about that. Is it a particular action that customer needs to take, or how the move is going to happen? How are you going to identify solar customers to move them?
Yeah, so I can take that question. Thanks, Leo. All solar customers are already in our system and have been notified by letter around the transfer to MCE service. Again, they're going to have a slightly different enrollment period, and that's again due to MCE wanting to make sure that they maximize their credits with PG&E. So we're going to wait until their annual true-up period before they are moved over to MCE, and that way they get the most benefit for the credits that they've been producing through their solar. So they've already been notified through letters. If there's any questions about someone and you do have solar on your roof, I definitely understand that you are very energy aware and you know a lot about how the rate tariffs work. We're super excited to talk to you, and there will be a net energy metering specific webinar coming up. Correct, Sebastian?
Yeah, thanks, Martin. So we did do a net energy metering presentation specifically for folks with solar this past Thursday. That's recorded and should be up on our website. If not already, then shortly. But we're doing another one on Thursday, the 24th, over Zoom. So you can come hang out with me and also Ben Choi, who's a member of our customer care team and really one of the experts on net energy metering, I would say, in the state. So we're really lucky to have him at MCE. But yeah, that's a thing that's happening in 2 weeks.
Thank you. Yeah, I did see some meetings in the website about either continued presentations for MCE, and I think I saw some as particular for solar customers. So, but I'm sorry, I think I missed the part. Sorry if you need to repeat the part on how MCE identified the solar customers.
So we already have a list of all the customers in Fairfield who have solar and are on the net energy metering. It's called NEM sometimes, tariff. So they have permission to operate a solar system on their roof or their business.
Got it.
So we already have that list from PG&E. We've already reached out to all those net energy metering or solar customers and are communicating with them directly. However, if they have further questions or if you want to know more information, please feel free to give us a call. We'd love to talk to you because we do understand that you have a great understanding of how this works, and we want to make sure that it's very clear for you on the benefits that you will receive with MCE.
Got it. Thank you. Yes, I was looking at a lot of great benefits. And just I would just want to remind to everyone that the meeting is being recorded so that we will continue to distribute for those that didn't make it. Or if you need to share with someone, we will let you know when the recording is available, as well as we'll be sharing it with our audience. What about PG&E shutoff or other type of outages? Will MCE customer may still affected by those?
Yes, Leo, they would, as Martin touched on, and I touched on in the presentation, MCE handles the generation portion of the electricity. So we don't touch the poles and wires, right? The transmission and distribution. So MCE customers would still be subject to public safety power shutoff events.
Definitely, thank you. And in terms of customers doing the transition to MCE, is there anything special to be installed?
To be installed, though, yeah, that's part of the benefit, is that there's no infrastructure that would need to be installed by the customer. Nothing materially changes other than the source of your electricity.
All right, thank you. Now for you, Martin, is there anything really special about, or are there, in terms of businesses that you manage as a relationship manager, is there any particular size of businesses that you oversee or work with?
I work with all businesses in Solano County, and I'm looking forward to working with all businesses in the city of Fairfield. MC is doing specific outreach to the larger businesses and the larger energy users, just because their bills are much higher. We want to make sure that they understand the benefit they're receiving. Again, the average about 5% cost savings by moving to MCE. But I'm working with all size businesses, and I'm really looking to lean on the chamber, Hispanic Chamber in Solano County, as well as the Fairfield-Suisun Chamber, to make sure that we can reach every business and let them know about the different opportunities we have for energy efficiency, for electric vehicles, and potentially even for other programs such as storage as well.
Thank you. Yes, definitely. Sorry, I've been asking a lot of questions. I wanted to remind the audience to please feel free to ask questions. You can unmute yourself, raise your hand, put your questions in the chat section. And we should be almost concluded. Just want to remind, I'm sorry, I'm just going to give a couple of seconds here for folks. Does anyone have any questions? This I'll be doing, I'll be asking. Okay, I just wanted to do one more reminder that on March 28th at 6 p.m. we'll be doing a similar presentation for businesses in Fairfield in Spanish. I do have information, so if you want to email me, let me put my email over here. You know someone that may benefit from the presentation in Spanish, please let me know. We will be sharing with our audience.
And Leo, I also just wanted to say that we recorded today the Fairfield presentation in Spanish, and so that'll be on our website either tomorrow or Wednesday. And so that is available. It's about 30 minutes long. It's a little bit long, but it's a lot of detail, really building on a lot of the stuff that Sebastian and Martin talked about today. So it's in Spanish, just another resource for everyone. So
there is a presentation as well in Spanish?
Yeah, it will be on our website either tomorrow or Wednesday.
All right, great, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Martin, for sharing your information. Dan Sharp says, I just want to especially recognize Councilmember Pandura for joining this meeting. Thank you, Dan, for your comments. David gets away. I don't have any questions, Leo, but for hosting, thank you for hosting the webinar for the community. Our pleasure. Anything else that MCE folks would like to say, final words?
Leo, if I could step in, this is Doris. Hi,
yes.
everyone. I just wanted to thank MCE and Leo for hosting this evening. I know I was with MCE earlier today as well, so it's been a full day of learning. But thank you for hosting this so that our business community has access to the information both in English and in Spanish. I think that's really important. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Councilmember Panduro, or should I say Director Panduro as well. Councilmember Panduro sits on our board of directors as well, Leo. So really grateful to have her leadership. And Leo, of course, always thank you for the opportunity to present and share information with your members. Really thankful and grateful for the partnership with the Hispanic Chamber.
Yes, a pleasure. Thank you, Sebastian, for your words. Thank you, Doris, for your words. Martin, it's been a pleasure to meet you. Definitely look forward to getting you more involved and reach out to you for potential questions when we have from members and businesses. Any other questions from the audience? All right. I want to thank MCE for the presentation today. Thank you, Ciara, for your comments. Everyone, thank you for your time today. Appreciate it. We're gonna have the recording up soon and sending out to the audience. As MCE folks mentioned, they do have a lot of contents and presentations coming up and already up in their website. So it's good to see the amount of information they are providing to our community, so they are aware of what's happening and make the best decision, right, according to their needs. All right, everyone, thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day. Thank you.
Thank you, Leo.
Okay, bye.
Thank you.
Thank you all.